Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Greg K6 EGG live stream. Give me just a few minutes and I'll be on the air. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Greg K6 EGG live stream. Give me just a few minutes and I'll be on the air.
Did you want to make a comment?
Hello. For the second time today. Nice to see you folks in here. Was on earlier watching the Starlink, the SpaceX launch of the Starship that I would say semi-failed. What's going on? Nice to see you in there, KJ5 FTE. Just to let you know, folks, I'm also on FT8 on 30 meter. I hope this works good because I didn't check it beforehand. So yes, nice to see you folks in here, I should say. Yeah, like I said earlier, I was on, or like I said just a second ago, I was on earlier watching the SpaceX Starship. Was pretty impressed with the grab of the first stage, I guess they call it. I'm just pardon my what's the elementary use of terms here, I guess, because I don't, I'm just a fan, so to speak, of SpaceX. So I don't want to speak out of turn, but pretty incredible feat, no less. Unfortunately, the top section, I guess the second stage, they had some fake or dummy or whatever test Starlink version 3s in the Pez dispenser, I guess. The top like kind of opens up and they were supposed to float out and then close back up and try to land. That second stage blew up over Trinidad and Tobago. Tobago, how you say that? There's some pretty incredible video out there, and there's some planes flying in the area, how to actually divert away from the some of the debris that was falling there from the upper atmospheres of the from the rocket exploding there. And there is actually video of the entire the second stage blowing up. Elon tweeted that there is a fuel leak in the cavity above the ship engine firewall. He doesn't think there will be a delay in the next launch unless the FAA. I agree with you, by the way. Unless the FAA, because they knew about it right away. Unless the FAA has their say so in there, because it was kind of spreading. I don't know if that FAA has any say so in those international waters. I'm sure they have some sort of, I don't know, influence, I guess you can say, on that. It's the FAA and the NTSB. So can you imagine if that thing blew up right when it was coming in the land? So assignment, looks like I got you in there. At least I thought I had you in there. Somebody with 2 very close call signs here. Must be nice having a 4 call sign. 4 digit or whatever, 2 by, whatever you want to say. Yeah, space is hard. People know this. I watched the Blue Origin. What's it? The other billionaire's pet project from what's his face? Spacing. Jeff Bezos. I'm glad they got that off. Unfortunately, the first stage made it into space okay, and the second stage ended up blowing up before it was able to try to land on their drone ship out in the Atlantic. But nonetheless, there was definitely some failures and successes. And like myself, if I fail, I try to learn from the experience. I'm sure that they will, because they're pretty smart people. Let's see if this works. It does. Off to a good start tonight. We'll see. So the other big thing for me today was I'm going to get out of FT8, by the way, and go to 40 meters. Didn't make much of a difference. So the other thing that for a big deal for me, I don't know if you guys watched the first live stream from today. I don't know if you guys watched the first live stream from today, but I mentioned that Southern California Edison, which is my power company here in Southern California in the city of Chino, that's 40 miles east of Los Angeles. They're the primary, I don't know, Southern California electric company. Not everybody has it. They have DWP in LA, DWP in LA, a couple other cities, whatever. Nonetheless, they needed to change out the they changed out the transformer that was in front of my house. It didn't make much of a difference, if any. I did know that when the power was off, not only in my house, but in other houses, the 40 meter noise level was down to 3, S3. Now, take that with a grain of salt. Normally, 40 meters during the day is not that noisy for me because everybody has their crap off or at work. Not to mention, half the street was without power. So obviously, some of these houses in this area are making some of this noise. I don't know which ones. Even if I did know which ones, I don't know if I can do anything about it. But the transformer itself didn't make a whole big difference. Or getting changed out, I should say. So it's definitely somebody on my block making noise. What are you talking about there, Mr. Adam? I'm just monitoring 40 here. I would love to make a couple contacts on here. Unless I have my stalker on here. Are you kidding me already? Who's the stalker? Well, the thing is the solar panels don't make noise during the day. The inverters are off during the day. They're only on when they receive power from the panels themselves. And the newer power inverters, they're built into. There's not one big power inverter. It's individual power inverters on each panel, and they're supposedly quieter. So I don't know. The other thing is I put a video out on YouTube here, which I'm not a big fan of doing, but I did anyways, just for the hell of it. So I had the BioEno 20 amp hour battery, which you guys know that I have. I mentioned in the video that I could probably get a couple days of Starlink use out of it with running right around 30 or 40 watts. I've gotten some negative comments on that. Not even from somebody I know. I don't know math. Well, I mean, I know math, but I don't know the math behind it. I was just purely guessing. What are your thoughts on that? How do I calculate that? I don't know how. I know there's a road to get there. I just don't know how. I don't know which one to take. As far as trying to figure out how long that BioEno battery would last with that Starlink pulling. This is say a round number of 40 watts. When it first kicks on, it's in the 60 watt range. When it settles, and when you're not, uploading, it ranges around 40 watts. So I'm actually going to pull this down because it's giving me a headache. Yeah, I'm terrible at math. So, well, I'm actually better at math than I am English. English is my third language, basically. Not that I know two others, but it feels like it's my third language. So if you guys would know, which dish do I have? I have the Starlink Mini. Starlink Mini. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I don't even know how to do that. I'll screw that up. I'm so bad at that stuff. But I assume because I can use I have that same battery. I have two of those batteries, and I can use one of them on I could do like 2-3 hours of Poto with that thing with 100 watts. 100 watts. So that's pulling probably 12, 15 amps, I'm guessing. Right? The other thing is I have the second battery I have is I have on my VHF ID 5100, and I charge that thing like once every 6 months. I leave it on listening a lot. Obviously, that's not going to pull a lot of wattage, but regular power drain from sitting in the cold or getting hot or getting cold, getting hot, just sitting there, you're going to lose some. And that thing will last pretty much all year. With the amount of use that I use it. And when I do use the 5100, if I'm on UHF, I'm usually on low power, which is 5 watts, because I don't really need a lot of power to hit the local repeaters. But the VHF, I'll usually run at 50 watts. So that's probably pulling, I'm guessing 7 or 8 amps, if that. I don't know. Does anybody know how to do the math on that? Because I would love to know. I don't want to say I told you so, but I was just assuming that it would last probably 2 days because I have this Anchor battery, and I let that thing run for like 4 or 5 hours before it died. And I was using it pretty heavy. I was uploading video. I used it at the park over at Chino Hills State Park. And I used that thing about 4 hours before it started to die. It was down to like 10%. So I probably could have got another half hour out of it. How long will... Only 8 hours? That just doesn't seem right. Well, I was thinking about 40 because I was streaming and stuff. And of course, I'm just being. I can't even find the bio in a battery site. There we go. I'm going to try to get the exact power. No, I'm just going straight USB-C. Which one do I have here? I think, no, I have 20 amp hour. No converter needed. I got to look on the. God, I'm so bad about this shit. Let me look here. I have the video here. Of course, that's probably going to get a lot. Well, it's not getting a lot of views. Okay, so BLF 1220A. BLF 1220A. BLF 1220A. I don't see it on here. BLF dash 1220. Is it this one? No. Nope, that's not it. Oh, come on. Where the heck is it? I don't even see it on the site anymore. Thank you very much. So what's my main camera and lens? I'm using a Sony A6400 with a Sigma 320A lens, I think. It's this one? Oh, yeah, it is. No, I don't remember paying that much. Yeah, this is it, right? Yeah, you're right. This is it. So how long do you think this will run a Starlink Mini? All this math on here. These smart guys in here, you guys want to do some math? I have not made any contacts on 40 meters yet tonight. I don't know if I will because it's pretty down noisy here. Do you like the camera, by the way? Oop. By the way, anybody new in here? Yeah, it works. I had my buddy. He's a very good video guy. I don't know if he wants me to say his name on here, but he helped me kind of shade this. So I was pretty. That doesn't sound right because I ran with my Anchor battery. I ran it almost 4 hours and I still had 10% left. And that battery's double the size. Less efficiency? And that's thinking 20 watts. That's some good math, I guess. So I was guessing around 40 with the use that I was using. I could be wrong. And I was using this battery. It just seems bigger than the Anchor battery that I had. Let me pull that up. Give me a second. Why is it making me sign in every time? Hope my account doesn't get stolen. Give me a second. I don't want you guys to see all my orders. My shoes I ordered and bowls and stuff like that. Christmas gifts for other people. Well, good thing is I have 2 of those batteries, so then it will last pretty much 2 days. It states 3.3 amps max. So that's what I was thinking, 40 watts on the high end. Oh man, I can't find this. It's not exactly watts used in the item. It's the direction lost due not having 100% efficiency by the radio or mini. We'll call it a radio. It's a radio basically. Yeah, I don't have it. I don't need it on heating mode. Although it was, yeah, I mean, it was in the 40s this morning. I mean, that's not heating. All right. Well, I guess, I agree with the math. I mean, math doesn't lie. I just didn't know the roadmap to get here. So I have this battery here that's in my kit. Oh, it went down in price. And it will be even cheaper. Wow, this is a pretty good price. This is my emergency battery that I keep in the kit. The Starlink Mini 5 spec sheet, so it's rated 60 watts, but it says averages 20 to 40. So what was the other? Someone did the math here. Okay, I can't. So okay, I streamed with this thing. I had this connected to Starlink in this particular battery. If you guys could see all the info here, let me see. This one's definitely bigger. I streamed with it. I had this connected to the Starlink for over 3.5 hours, and I still had 10% left. So something, I don't know. Unless it was using less. Oh, that's not good. If the coverage is bad, uses. Yeah, I believe that. By the way, the 891 at 50 watts for 3. But I use this thing on Starlink for over 3 hours, 3.5 hours. It was connected to the satellites for 3.5 hours. And most of the time, I was uploading, and I was in the park with Keith that day. So I'm confused. Oh, I suck at making videos. Be careful, you leave that battery that low, it will kill it. No, I charged it up after. It stays charged. The TSA doesn't like this. All right. See, I don't understand all this. I didn't mean to do that. I don't understand all this math. So this means this one's more efficient. I mean, according to what Andy said. Please explain. So hopefully someone's learning from this other than me, because I don't get it. Because that battery has a smaller capacity, but it lasts longer. That doesn't make sense. Yep, I understand that. So is this actually a bigger battery then? Just wild. Wild, wild, wild. I thought this battery was bigger than this battery. I guess you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let that thing, I'm going to time it one day. Man, I can't believe the prices went up on this. I think I paid $130 for this. Simon posted a video in Discord. Oh, Simon, you're the best. You're the best right now. I wish I could play the video. I don't know if I could play the video if it's on YouTube. By the way, I like this. This is a good screenshot right here. I got to save that. I lost my camera there. Let me bring this in here. And yes, that's some cool video, by the way, of the Starlink with SpaceX coming in. To determine the 24-hour, you need to consider the power consumption of the Starlink voltage to the battery. The Starlink Mini typically consumes 25 to 40 watts on average. Assuming a 12 volt battery, the battery capacity in watt hours would be battery capacity watt hours equals voltage. Man, I already got me lost here. 240 watts an hour. Oh, okay, I got you 240 watts an hour. The BioNO is 20 amp hour at 12 volt output. The Anchor is at 24. I don't think the output's. So it would have been better if I ran the, I have a meter I can put on it and see what it's actually drawing. I just need to put some connectors on it. Man, why is it so expensive? I paid $139 for it. I thought I did. It was the night I bought the 891. But yes, the internal battery voltage on the Amazon unit. I don't know. That's a good question. Simon, thank you for putting that in there. We can do some math on there. Oop. Not math, but yeah, I don't know. It's a nice size. It's not that big. I probably won't be able to hear him. 220. I almost guarantee I won't be able to hear him.
Roger on that. Okay, doke.
Oh, maybe I
certainly
can.
appreciate you coming back to me, and I'll say 73s and take care. KK4 RZV clear.
Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf. KK4 RZB, still there?
I heard a station calling KK4 RZV come back.
Yeah, this is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf. I just wonder if I can get a quick contact with you there from California.
Yeah, you're sounding great from California there, over.
It's good to hear a voice through my S9 of noise here.
Come back.
It's good to hear a voice through my S9 of noise here in Southern California.
Yeah, I heard you say S9, but anyway, I still got a copy here in Alpharetta, Georgia on you.
Wow, copy that. I appreciate the contact there from, you said Georgia, is that correct?
All right, you dropped down on that last transmission, but I certainly appreciate the try. 73s, take care. KK4 RZV clear.
7-3 from Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf.
I got a better match there. You guys hear anybody else? I got a 225 if someone wants to make a contact. I gotta look at his call sign again. Really? I thought I paid less. I have to take a look at that. Well, I guess it'll only last 10 hours. I'm going to let that thing cook in the backyard, I think, next week. That guy was in Florida? Holy shit. I thought he said he was in Georgia. That's even further. Wow. So if you guys want to try to make a contact, I don't know. That guy was coming in good. KK4RZB, right? Did I get that right? RZB, yeah. Two. I hear somebody in there, but I can't really hear them. Nice to see you in there, dude. Yeah, I loaded a couple videos and they took off, and it wasn't even ham radio videos. Yeah, I'm hearing a conversation, but I don't think I can. If you guys want to try to call me here, I'll leave this open. It says Florida, so I don't know. If you guys want to try to call me, I'll leave it open here for a little bit. I'm going to have to take a look and see how much I paid for that battery. Radio stuff. And I don't want to show my search on here. When did I buy that? June? No.
I got a very, very light copy on you there, Joe. This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf. Joe, do you have a copy on me? Kilo India 5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango. Kilo India 5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango. Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf.
That's weird, man. I just heard you. All right. Well, I heard you. You were coming in good. I'll have to try again in a few minutes. This antenna doesn't do too good on 40. Really good on 20. Trying to figure out when I bought this. I don't know when I got that check out. Wow, that's pretty good. That's really good. I don't know when I bought that.
Oh, I hear you in there. Kilo Echo 0 Mike Alpha Delta. You're 5'9" through my S9 and noise.
I was banding really up and down. You're down to 2x2 that time around. Anyway, definitely worked in there. I'll let you get back to
Copy that. I'll put you in the contact there. In the log, pardon me.
All right, copy that.
And you came up that time, so maybe the band's, like you said, up and down.
Okay, you came up to 5 and 5.
That must have been Sean in there. So just call me. Try to call me on this frequency. I'm looking up. I'm trying to figure out how much I paid for that. I don't remember paying that much. It was like there was a discount on it. I suck, don't I? This doesn't do too well. This antenna doesn't do too well on 40, and I got all this freaking noise here. I don't know if that affects my transmit out. You guys are be smarter than that. You're all the way down in Key West? I don't get that down to Texas too much. Yeah, he's got a good station.
This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf. Anybody else on the frequency would love to make a contact. This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf calling CQ 40 meters.
What's up, Peter? Nice to see you in there. Don't all come at once. I don't know what I thought Sam was going to jump in here, but I guess not. You know what? I didn't get a hold of him. I met Seth. Oh, at least I made a couple contacts tonight. By the way, that guy that was on 80 meter the other night did not log. I'm very bummed about that. I wonder if 80 meters would work. God, that looks ugly. It's even worse. That's a nasty. Well, I'm going to stay here on 40, see if you guys can hear me. I'd love to make the contact here on 40. 40, it's a band that I have a lot of trouble with for obvious reasons, and that... There's somebody. That's unfortunate. I was hoping that someone in 220. Thank you for trying. November Sugar 5 Hotel. What's your noise level? What's your noise level, man? I always wondered. See, I'm so jealous of that. Do you ever hear anyone from the... I do actually, not on 40, very rarely on 40. Actually, that's not true. I think I made a contact with Seth on 40. Greg, what's your noise level like on 40? We could probably talk, right? There's so much freaking noise. I get a headache after I do the live stream or during it. S3 in Florida on 40. You got that nice ground plane right by you too. I can't even hear you, Oscar. A little better match there on... Yes, Haley.
So weird.
What? Well,
Weird.
I was doing something for the stream here. You want to say hi to anybody? You don't need to make faces, okay? Be nice. You want to tell everybody you did good on your test today?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's 20 questions.
It was what?
20 questions.
20 questions. And you got all of them right?
Yeah.
Good
Every
for you.
single one.
You're a lot smarter than I am.
Liam got 2 rounds. It's okay.
That's all right.
He probably got like a 9.
Try not to compare yourself to others. You try to be the best you can be. Right? And we got Milo coming in here. Just remember, never compare yourself to anybody else. Always just be 100% the best you can be. Is he snorting? He was on the cat tree today.
I know. I saw him.
You saw him?
And I was like, when I was going to the restroom, and I said, hello.
He's a big cat.
I know.
He only comes in here when you're in here. Oh, yeah, don't go over there, cat. No. He's all pissed. You see when his ears go back like that? That means he's pissed. Sorry. S9, S2, and Salton Sea, huh? You don't just put your hand in front of his head. He's gonna try to go around my feet and go that way. No. You want to get him out of there? Go this way, cat. You don't need to broadcast on the HF. He's a big gray guy, isn't he? No? He's shaking his head no. Is that Milo?
I need to see Loki soon.
Yeah?
I lost the battle.
Oh, playing your video game?
Yeah.
Now you're gonna be addicted to playing video games, huh? Right?
I might do when I'm done. Wait, I don't need to. I don't need to do
I
homework
gotta
tomorrow.
move him because I'm gonna move my chair here. I don't want to run his tail over. That would be bad. You made a good point, by the way.
No scratching.
He's the
No.
cat
No
controller.
scratching.
No, he can scratch himself. Okay.
I don't want him to scratch his ear
Why?
because his ear's bad. He like it.
Yeah, but he needs to scratch his ears. It's like, what if he did that to you and told you not to scratch his ears? He's not really messed up his ears. He's gonna sneeze on you. He's gonna have boogers all over my carpet.
And also scratches and boogers on the wall.
All right, let's see here. So try to call me on 7250 and see what happens. How many buses? You mean bus outputs? That's a loaded question. The reason being, so I have this main output and then I have a sub to this main output. Then I have external outputs. Then I have stereo aux outputs. So if you, not only did I have stereo sub outputs, I have virtual outputs through the computer. So it's kind of a loaded question. Because this is digital and analog at the same time. I know this sounds weird. It has analog logic and digital. You can control it digitally. I right now there's two separate stereo mix bus outputs. Right now I'm using one for you guys. You guys see it here. And then I have this IFB thing that I am only monitoring. I'm not sending to the main B bus or send it to the main A bus here. I'm sending it to the main B bus. I'm sending only to the main B bus and I'm monitoring it there. Anyways, so I got this, what they call, I call it the FJB. So basically what I did is when I have this, when it says mute, it's really muting to the main bus, the A bus, and it's sending to the B bus. It's very similar to like a Mackie has a setup where they call it the alt out. Anyways, I'm monitoring that and I have it panned to my left. So when they talk to me, when Seth or Sam talks to me, they have another audio path I have sent through Discord versus Sonobus, which is coming in here. So I have this pan to the left, so it comes in my left ear. So I know they're talking to me on IFB and not on the live stream. It definitely is so overcomplicated. It's simple to me. It's just so I can have a conversation and not have to worry about not talking to anybody else. The other thing is when I hit this mute button, I mute to the live stream, but it still sends to the aux bus that feeds Sonobus. I feed Sonobus to an aux bus, which I'll show here. I don't know if it will actually show it. Yeah, it should. So these are all my outputs. So basically altogether I have 16 outs and 16 ins. So the way that this board is, the aux 9 and 10, analog 9 and 10 out, which are really in a digital world, are feeding analog 9 and 10. So I feed 9 and 10 to Sonobus, and I mix minus. Let me get rid of this. I mix minus Sonobus. So in theory, I don't want the IFB to go back to him. I want my mic. I got to get rid of myself here so you can see all the auxes. So this is aux 1 right here, and it's stereo. You can pan it. So basically, it can be two outputs. Stereos is two outputs, basically. So aux 1, I have to Sonobus, right? So I have everything up, but what I don't want to send to themselves, I don't need to send them the radio or the IFB. They don't need to hear themselves come back. They don't need to hear my radio mix. That this is my mix going to my radio, which I have on aux 2. I'll explain that in a minute. And then everything else but themselves here. So when I play back stuff off the other computer, which I was earlier when I was doing the live stream with the SpaceX feed, that comes off another computer. And it's actually a a focus, right? And it's my M1 Apple computer. That's why I have it labeled M1 focus. So I want to send all that to the aux1 because that'll be a mix minus themselves, which is this is the Sonobus in, and it's a digital input through Sonobus. Now, as I said before about the radio feed, what I do is I have two outputs on my mic pre that's external from the mixer. I have one feed feeding this channel here and another feed feeding this channel here. If you see, they're a little bit different levels because I have them. The reason why I have them set a little bit different because they're doing different things. So this is for the stream. So I want the audio to sound a little bit crisper, nicer, and rounder and fuller. And this, I don't need it as fuller because I don't need the low end so much, and I need a lot more highs and mids. So I have the bell curve in and stuff like that. Anyways, I have this fader down, and I have this set to pre. So this is out. And I have this set to on, which is the on output for the master of the aux, or the master of the channel of the aux. I don't have anything else sent to that. So anybody play sound effects, we play the sad ham sound effects, anybody talking on Sonobus, they don't get sent to the radio feed, which is aux2. This one right here, this is the main output for aux2 here. So a lot of overcomplication, I know, but I don't do a normal live stream like anybody else does. And I hope that's kind of why you watch. I have a lot of flexible routing I can use the output for digital as well as analog, which that's what I do, as I do a lot of routing digitally, which you see through Sonobus. I get a feed sent to and from Discord. I'm sending stuff to OBS. I'm also inserting, which I have through here. I'm inserting waves for my for some sound sweetening before it hits the OBS output. So I take the main output. It goes to an insert in virtually into waves, comes out of waves, and it gets sent into the OBS. So a lot of overkill on as far as audio routing. And I'm not even using everything I can use from this console here either. I also have inserts here too. Cam, yes, they do. And I'll show you how. I'll show you how in a second here. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can pull up. Let's see how I can send this. Let me show you something called Loopback. Loopback is like a virtual audio card. Let me see if I can change the Oop, that's not what I want to do. So you can see some of it. Let's see if I move this. No, it doesn't change. So it's not quite what I wanted to show you guys. So let me try something else. And go back to Sonobus. Actually, let me do this. Hold on. I knew this, I didn't save. I got to be careful when I'm doing this live because I can delete a scene or something like that, and I don't want to do that. So let me go to here. I don't know why that's not showing. Window capture. Hold on. No. This is good. I want to show you one of these days. I want to do a video on this. Why isn't this not showing up? Properties of Discord. Clock. Is this showing up? No. Let's do this. Let's trash that. Let's do this. Application. Give me a second here. Engineering 201. Yes. Screen capture. No. Screen capture. Loop back. Oops. I want to show you guys this. This is pretty cool. Oh. Window capture. Where's loop back? There we go. There's a little better shot. Let me make this, transform it so you guys can see the whole thing here. Where's transform at? I can't see. Fit. There we go. You won't see me, but oh well. So basically, I have all these different inputs and outputs. So this say I want something on the BiG SiX right here, right? So I take, this is the outputs. This is an output source, and I feed it to a virtual channel output. Then I feed those virtual channel outputs to a VA cable, which is another thing. I feed the VA cable, which is like a virtual audio card, to the source. In this case, that's going to my OBS. So you guys kind of understand all this. Then I can't get, my cursor is not working here. Bear with me here. So let's take a look at, where's my OBS at? I don't know where my OBS is at. I'm looking at inputs, aren't I? So this say when I'm on a guest stream for OBS, or for like StreamYard or something like that, I have to create a mix minus. So I give an output differently than an input. Dude, the resolution is what? Oh, I know. I don't know why the screen capture looks like shit. Check, check, check. So when I play something through Google Chrome, which is my output, and I have it set into my channel 5 and 6, will get sent to this right here. I have this second, so I have a USB input here, a USB input, and and it goes from USB input to regular A to D input. So it'll go audio to digital. Scroll up. Ooh. The screen just froze. That sucks. Oh boy. So that's kind of how some of this stuff is. And let me show you my my VA cable, which is actually the real brains behind everything, as far as powering everything. And you have very limited inputs and outputs. You can only do 8 of each. So you can make 8 outputs. Where's VA cable? So this is the VA cable, and you can see outputs. You can see all the different, the delays, latency, everything like that. Everything looks super good on here. Buffer time's nice and slow or fast. Not any issues. I'm at 48K. I'm only receiving set up for 8 channels on this. I don't need all the 8 or 16 channels. I start to run into resource issues because I want to have everything at speed. And if you notice, you can see output level and the input levels are a little bit different because there's a little bit of a latency going analog to digital and back out. So this is actually the brains of it. This converts it into, this basically sends it goes mixer, this program, then loop back. And then it goes back from loop back to this program, back to the audio mixer. This is the actual brains of everything. So I know it's a little more complex than your normal live stream, but seems to work for me. I want to have as much input and output power and ability to send you guys different audio signals right away at a moment's notice. So it's all for you folks. Let me see here. Anybody on 40 meter? Ooh, I guess that goes into, there we go. I don't need 32 channels. That's a little too much. What are you gonna do with 32 channels? That's a lot of real estate. So it took me a lot of time to get this. A couple things I want to get to. What do you think? It took me a lot of time to get the routes on this the way I want it and to be clean. And the other thing is I did this all and I was continually streaming during all this time. So whenever I made small increments changing of different routes instead of doing everything at once, because it could get really confusing and I can lose a lot of information. So I took a lot of screenshots. I'll have this stuff routed because I don't want to have a lot of ins and outs and creating loops and echoes. And as I've had that happen for the folks that are on Discord and stuff like that. And I go on live streams like Gray Man Poda's last Wednesday. So I just want to make sure the audio sounds good for the folks, you guys watching at home. And I try to make it as good as I can. And yes, I compress the living crap out of it through waves because I want to have a nice even sound. I don't like distortion sound either. I want to be able to have Haley walk in, you guys can hear. On this case, I need all the channels, but I can bring him in on aux return ins. I can actually fix the OBS. So I want to talk to you guys about that because OBS, it drifts. Sometimes it's in time. Sometimes it's not. I don't know if it's a buffer problem with getting resources used. I'm only using 13% CPU. A lot of it has to do with encoding. If I have like something like with a lot of different like stuff moving on the screen, I get a lot of buffer errors and the CPU usage goes up. I was originally I was native 4K when I got this camera here, and I've since went back to 1080p at 5994 because what happens is if you have, let's say, this camera at 1080 or at 4K resolution, everything else needs to be stepped up or cross converted. People call it up converted. You're really crossing it because a lot of these feeds, like the radio feed, it's interlaced. It's not progressive, and it's a way lower resolution. So it takes a lot of processing power to boost that up. And what that does is it causes a delay, a latency and stuff like that. So it basically, you get time to the last thing that's up converted or cross converted to your max resolution. Sometimes that can be about 4 frames. Right now I'm looking at OBS and it's saying it's roughly about 2.5 frames. So what's that in milliseconds? I forget. There's a math equation to that, of course. But it's hard to keep everything in time. That was my biggest problem. When I bring in the video from the other computer, that's actually a lot delayed. Unfortunately, I cannot work on that. If my board does not have 96 degrees, What are you gonna do with 96 channels on a live stream? You could have 90 FJB channels. Good morning, and I would agree with that. We need some more peace in this world, right? I'm still monitoring 40 meters. If you guys want to try me, you gonna put it in your living room? I know somebody did that. The church I worked at Melodyland in Anaheim had I think a 96 input board. We used actually most of them. I mean, just the drums was taking up 12 channels or whatever. Nobody on 40?
Anybody on 40 meters here? This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf. Is the frequency in use?
Maybe I came up for some folks. I don't know if Oscars is using. I think they had all the hi-hats individually mic'd. They had some money on that place. They had isolators around it and everything. And I think it was a Soundcraft, Europa or something like that. It's simple. How would you connect a mixer to the radio? I would like to be able to use an RH. Well, the question is, do you need a mixer? What are you mixing? That's the question. Because a lot of times people don't need mixers. They just need a preamp to feed the radio, and you just need a way to listen. You can just plug your headphones into the radio itself. So what are you exactly mixing? You could plug your 320 directly in your radio too. Which I had my radio. I had this microphone directly into the radio through a split. Yeah, you don't necessarily need a mixer. It just adds more cause for RFI. So you could take the output of your preamp and plug it directly into your radio, actually. I would suggest using the ACC unit, depending on what kind of radio you have. I work for Melodyland. It was connected with TBN. They had a nice amount of money. EQ is nice, but a lot of EQs on these Mackie mixers are just noise gathering devices. And a lot of those Mackies cannot handle a lot of RFI. My other Mackie that I was using is a good board. Chase actually has it right now. It can get some RFI in there. There's a lot of gremlins in those mixers when you get RFI in them. Sometimes you have to shut them off and turn them back on to get them back to normal. Be careful plugging audio in your Icom. I use capacitor buck voltage. I'm actually using the ACC input in the back of the radio that doesn't really have much of a preamp. And you can churn what do they call it? The voltage off in the menu of the Icoms. At least in the 7610 you can. You don't have to have your Harris. I would try to hook up least amount of gear as possible to the radio to try to get what you accomplished. The only reason why I have this hooked up is because I want to bring it for you guys. So I would just take an output of the preamp and plug it directly into the mixer and the ACC input. It'd be their cleanest bet. It likes to accept line level. Or you could set it to accept line level. So if I get emails, it's how do I hook up my mixer to my radio like you have it? Well, do you need to do it? Your question, so I could basically run the line output of the DBX processor into the radio. Yes. Icom uses a powered mic. Heil converters have locking capacity. Yes, that is true. And you can also turn the BIOS off. BIOS off. I want to say they use SM81s for the hi-hats, MD421 for the kick, and the guitar amp listening. I'm not a music guy, so this was 30 years ago. I'm not too familiar with the Kenwood. I don't know if they have an ACC input, but they definitely probably have a mic input. A lot of times you can buy a line to mic converter, which is basically a big giant pad. You might need some sort of transformer as well. IL-19, something like that. 166 is a good unit. I don't like the way the gating sounds on it. You can hear it kind of grab a little bit. Oh, you know what, Monty? I forgot. I was going to run some FT8 just for you. I got to log out my contacts here. I got 2 of them. I thought I had 3. No, it was 2. I'll take them. That would be a good idea. Because that has a transformer built into it, right? I actually have what is it here? A 266 in the rack that I use on the, so I have an insert point. So I bring that, like I said, I bring that line level mic feed from the preamp. I have a 528E Simitrex preamp, very old preamp, 30 years old. So it has 2 different outputs on it, or I think I put a Y cable on it. I can't remember at this point, but anyways, I have an insert point here, and I feed a DBX 266XL. A lot of the gating is done for me in the mic pre feeding the channel, but I also use a little bit of light gate on the insert point, and a little bit more compression on this insert point. And also in that insert point, I have another insert point inside the 266 where I have an Aphex 204. Totally overkill, but I get pretty good audio reports. Took me a little while to dial in Sean Sean in Missouri there. I'm spacing on his call sign there. He's spent a lot of time helping me dial that in, and even sending me a ACC adapter for my 7610, which helped out a lot. And I did notice a little bit less noise instead of going in the front input of my 7610 versus the back input, the ACC input. Supposedly that's supposed to be line level in the back, but I don't see much documentation on that. So I do have a 266 in line when I feed the radio. Little bit of light compression in before I hit the 7610. I have no comment on that. I have no comment on that there, pal. Let me make sure that I have. All right. It's line level in the back. I know my K8 MRD, we've chatted about that. He says he gets good reports on the front input, and he thinks the back input's the same. And I to be honest with you, I can't find documentation that says line level, but I know in the circuitry, if you look at the schematics, there's no mic preamp in there. So I don't know. I definitely, even listening, here's 2 things. Listening in my ear and not hearing a lot more white noise, which means you got an impedance issue. And you have to, so basically you would have to turn the mic or the output gain down on the output of the mixer, which is, I'm using the aux2, and then turn the gain down on the microphone or the input on the input of the 7610. Right now I have the output set to -6, Unity -6 on the mixer. It could do plus, this mixer can do +4. It's a professional mixer. And I have the ACC input on the, oh man, 20 meters is completely dead. I have the ACC input gain to, I want to say, let's take a look at this. Whoa. I don't have a good, I guess I'm going to go 30 meters. See how that is. That looks pretty clean. So let's take a look and see what I have for one thing. Yeah. So what's the compression do? Clip off the high end. So basically compression, you can bring everything up that's a little bit lower. So if you have the threshold set to say -20, it brings everything up within that threshold up to where the output level is set. And it sent everything above the threshold. It basically puts everything into a shelf. So you're not like peaking too much. You lose a little bit of dynamics that way. And a lot of people say, I have too much compression on this, which I do because I have a weak voice. That helps out with weak voices. I'm cranking out 40. I'm on 30 meter right now, by the way. Let's see what I have my set connectors, ACC. Where's my input? That's the output. Where's my input? Oh, there we go. And USB. There was modulation. Connectors, modulation input. No, I have it set at 25%. I thought it was higher than that. Interesting. Maybe I changed it. Do I use a gate and expander? Yes. I have a downward expander on my, hi Haley. I'm talking right now though. I have a downward expander on my mic preamp with a light compressor. And then I have a expander gate, which basically closes everything on my insert point. Yes, Haley.
Can you come to my room?
Not at this point in time. Because I'm talking.
Live?
Yes, I'm going to, yes. All right. All right. All right. All right. My arm hurts today. Sorry. All right. See you in a little bit. The other thing is the EQing. You want to do with some of your EQing before you compress, because when you EQ after a compression, you can add a lot of noise and stuff. If you listen to the UK radio jocks, they use massive amount of compression on their voice. It's almost like it is. And you know, a lot of the AM radio stations that are, or now FM, and there is an art to making those folks sound really good. It's all making sure you have your 40 meters is your input gain, and having a good microphone that has a lot of range. Let me see how 80 meters is doing here for me. See, oh, I can't tune up. Perfect. Having your input gain is key. Having it correct is key. You don't want to have too much. You don't want to have too less, because that's where your noise starts, is in your input gain. Input gain is the input gain, and the first level of first EQ is your absolute most important part of your audio chain, is your input gain. If you have a shitty input gain, you're going to have noise at the end because you're going to try to make it up somewhere. I see a lot of guys they use the preamp as they use the compressor as a preamp, which is great for keeping stuff not peaking, but you also add a bunch of noise. And yes, I'm on 80 meters, by the way. You don't want to use your compressor as a mic preamplifier or mic amplifier. The CBs. Well, TV is different because I know folks in radio pretty well, and TV is a different animal as far as you got a lot of visual stuff. You don't want to like over enhance anything. I don't know how Tim feels about this, but you don't want to like when you have radio, that the only thing you have is the audio. So you need to enhance that as much as possible to create a picture. With video, TV, it's just kind of like letting you in on the action. Kind of, it's a little bit different. Uh, 63 feet or 67 feet. Believe it or not, it's actually tuning up. I can't believe it. That they basically want us to be flat on TV. You don't want to have a lot of bass because you're telling a different story on TV. Just remember, everything's a story when you hear it or see it. Yes, we lost Bob Euchre. Very good dude. I met him a couple times. He's exactly like you see him on TV, by the way. There is zero difference in his personality when you talk to him in person. Super good dude. At the front row. So if you want to catch me on FT8, I'm on 80 meters, believe it or not. And by the way, everybody's going to have an opinion on audio. Everybody thinks it's the right way. But for me, for my stream, I want to kind of make it almost sound like a radio station because we're doing radio and we're doing radio. I hate having my photo or my picture on here. So originally I did not have myself on here. Korean barbecue is starting to kick in. Kentucky, everybody. I don't know if I have Kentucky on 80 meters. I need like New Jersey and New York on 80 meters. Where's Seth at when I need him? Oh, he's in Missouri right now. FYI, you do pretty good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's a lot of work to make this clean. And I think Tim, Grayman Poto, would agree. I spent a lot of time not streaming to get this right, but kind of practicing because I kind of want to be ready for everything. Like if someone goes, oh, you got to go to DStar. So I have to have, all that stuff kind of ready to go. Radio, the hotspot, all the fonts and everything like that. So you guys see there, all that stuff has to be pre-done. It's not the easiest way to get stuff going here. I did radio for over 30 years. So the compression of FM radio. Yeah. And you got a small, window of noise that you can push your signal through. So you want to give as much as you can. I get it. TV is a lot different, especially now in a digital world where you got like crazy amounts of bandwidth that you would never think that you would have. All right. So my plan of the next couple of days, I got to work tomorrow, which is Friday, and I got to work Saturday. I got an NBA game tomorrow. The Lakers are playing the the Brooklyn Nets. And then I'm working a UFC event, a pay-per-view. I think pay-per-view 314. I don't know. It's on pay-per-view. It's on ESPN, I think, the first couple hours. I'm not working. I'm working for UFC, I think. I don't know. I got to look. But Yeah, working a Laker game and the UFC, and I have Sunday off at this point. Just heard a cat. My plan is, if I'm not too tired after a super long day on a Saturday, which could be 18 hours, could be 20 hours, I don't know. Milo. See, the other thing is getting that gate right is you guys don't hear all the background noise, but you still hear this kind of stuff. So having the gate set right, having the input gain set right, having the EQ set right. A lot of times I'm running everything pretty flat. I hate hearing distortion. And no offense, I absolutely hate how the Heil mics sound on live streams. There's like right around 4K, there's like distortion. And I don't know what it is, and I cannot stand it. I hate distortion in audio. You get that when you overcompress, which I hear a little tiny bit of mine, but I'm just trying to enhance my voice a little bit. The noise is worse after a transformer replacement. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I've never heard that before. You would like to have a nice transformer input, not necessarily. You don't see me on 80? Tim, what mic are you using again? I'm sorry. But you're using the RE20, right? I think a lot of the stock mics sound pretty decent. A lot of the Yaesu and the Kenwoods and I think they actually sound pretty good. Oh, I think it, yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's worse. I think it's probably the same. Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about mic transformers. I was confused. Korean barbecue. Got me good. With that being said, like I said, I'm planning on being back, if not at the park over at Chino Hills, which is only 5 miles away, being here in the shack at some point in the afternoon and definitely at night. I'm starting to see Utah and South Dakota in there. Oh, I got you. 20 looked dead to me. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's a decent microphone. Though the Sures don't sound too good, make my voice sound better or good. This microphone sounds better on over the air on the radio through the 7610 than it does on the stream, in my personal opinion, my honest personal opinion. Do I know you? Yes. Zane, I saw you earlier on here. I'm going to get out of here. Not much as far as contacts here, but it was good to make contact with Sean and the guy from, I guess he was from Florida. I guess Georgia. I don't know. He was from somewhere. Let me see if I worked these counties before, or if I have worked that guy. This guy's call sign looks familiar, even though I haven't worked them. Let's try to work them. Oh, I thought I 73'd out with Zane. Maybe I didn't. We'll see here. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. Take care, everybody. Oh, there goes the 73. Take care, everybody. You guys have a very good day wherever you're at, and hope to talk to you soon. Thanks for being in here and helping me out with the math there on the stuff. Maybe I'll be in Chino. It'll be nice to meet up. Yeah. It takes a lot to offend me, by the way, Greg. Just having that 1G there at the end, that might do it. I'm just kidding, of course. Anyways, take care, everybody. Hello, everybody. Thanks for watching the Greg K6 EGG live stream. But most importantly, thanks for spending a little while with me. And please, don't forget to tell your friends about the channel.